Hello, a very warm welcome to you. I'm Kritika Saxena, and I have with me today Jean-Philippe Courtois from Microsoft International. Microsoft's had a very busy last one odd week. Bhaskar Prabhanik, the chairman of Microsoft India, was already on the channel to talk about the details and the importance of the data center. And that's why my first question to you, Jean, is going to be about the cloud-based data center. Jean, this is a game changer of sorts, not just for Microsoft, but even for India and its overall technological landscape. Let me understand what the plan is. You know, we already have an idea about the landscape, the infrastructure. There'll be first 3 cities, but I wanted to understand from you how significant this would be, and how would this be a crucial point for Microsoft to be able to leverage its India presence?
Yeah, I think it's a great moment for Microsoft and for India coming together. You know, we've been in the country for 25 years. We've got a pretty strong presence as a company, 6,500 people doing not just sales, marketing, but R&D, research, development, a lot of innovation. And we have defined, or I should say our CEO, Satya Nadella, has redefined our mission as a company. And it's about empowering every individual, every organization on the planet to achieve more. And our strategy, which relates a lot to that announcement in India, is really about building best-in-class productivity services and platform in a mobile-first, cloud-first world. And here we are in India, and we announced actually the opening of the data centers in India, which is part of the global scale data centers footprint we have. It's been an investment of more than $18 billion globally, of more than 100 data centers in 40 countries. And it's a very big news because I think it's going to enable and trigger even more innovation out of India, not just for India as a country, but for the world. That's what this announcement is all about. Okay,
so you said $18 billion. So let me ask you, what is the kind of breakup that, I probably know your answer to this, but what is the breakup that will come into India? Or give me a ballpark amount as to the kind of investment that will be put in over 3 to 5 years into the data centers.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are not going to break down all the numbers, but again, it's a very sizable investment we are making, which will continue to scale over time. Because we see a lot of scenarios, including, hopefully, not only some of the largest enterprises in India, but also startups, companies, small businesses, and including government entities as well, would be more than welcome and eager to leverage that global scale out of India, and where they would be able also to have some of the data sovereignty benefit of a local data center in the country.
Okay, I'll go into the details of Digital India in just a bit and how this ties in together. But I wanted to understand from you, Jean, in terms of where India stands right now in Microsoft's global footprint, will this announcement push India further up in the overall global presence of Microsoft?
Absolutely, and it does in the following way. You know, we've got some of our largest global customers using IT who have invested tremendously in India for the last 10, 15 years. They've got their own innovation centers out of India. Having those customers, I was meeting with many of them actually today, using the scale of the cloud out of India to come up with some new innovation processes, application in banking, retail, manufacturing, commerce, and whatsoever. This is a big announcement. Same with startups. There's a very vibrant community of startups in India that travel the world, that want to sell their services to the planet. And here we are to connect. We actually even have an incubation, a venture accelerator circle in India, where we help them raise some money and access the global marketplace with our Azure cloud platform. So this is another example. A third example would give you as well about the interest is the ability to use that platform for Digital India for smart cities. There's a big ambition in smart cities to enable cities to be smarter in everything they do. And we have got a couple of examples going on, like the city of Surat as an example, with a digital dashboard to manage much more efficiently many of the accountabilities of a city in India. And so there's a lot of opportunities we see across commercial, government, education, skills as well, that we can actually help.
Okay. Satya Nadella, in the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meet in the Silicon Valley, gave a teaser, and I spoke to him as well. He gave a teaser about how Microsoft would contribute by bringing low-cost broadband to about 500,000 villages in India. Could you give me a sense about, or give us some details as to how this would work? Bhaskar also touched upon this as well. Over how many years would this work out, and what is the kind of partnership that would be required with the government?
Let me give some context about that actually discussion we're having with the government of India, which is exciting both for our CEO and for the company. We've been innovating for the last couple of years across the world, both in India, in Africa, and other places, to make sure we could use some unused, actually, TV frequencies, what we call the TV white space, to enable many, many remote villages who don't have any connectivity today to have access to broadband connectivity. And so that is a technology that has been proven today in a number of places in the world, and we are very willing to support the government in India to see how it could meet the needs, which I know are many of those villages in India. And I think this is a discussion going on that will be shaping and developing, but we are very willing to support that big aspiration in India.
And something similar has already been planned out or tested out in Andhra Pradesh, if I'm correct?
Well, we've been testing that similar kind of technology in a few places, in particular in Africa, where we got some great examples as well in countries like Namibia, Tanzania, and a few others. And we've seen the benefits, amazing benefits for the community, both for school, but also for very small businesses, actually one-person kind of businesses, who really are triggering new economics in a socially disadvantaged community, which I think is fantastic. Okay,
so there's low-cost broadband, which in itself is very ambitious, where smart cities, what are the other touch points? I have a broad framework of what Microsoft is looking at, but if you look at smart cities, broadband, what, 3 to 4 more points where Microsoft right now is in conversation with the government for Digital India?
I think there's a big element, which is the human capital, people. This is the skills ambition of India. And I can tell you, any customer, any organization I meet in India is really asking me about our investment for skills, to find the right talents. As a company, we've been very passionate about that. Actually, over the past 10 years, we invested more than $100 million to reach out and provide digital literacy to more than 50 million people in India across many underserved communities and youngsters. But we have decided to address this Digital India challenge to team up with the National Skill Development Corporation and go after 1 million people to be trained and skilled with digital skills. So that's another big passion of us, is to help on the skills as well. Okay,
and this will be over and above the entrepreneurship, the incubation drive that Microsoft has anyways been on, right?
Absolutely. That's an additional, I would say, initiative we're going to undertake in India to be part of that. The other, I would say, example we give you is we have a very strong partnership with many of the information technology services companies in India because they are serving the needs of many of our customers globally. And so we are really working with them in a way that can disrupt, in a positive way, the world with a lot of the cloud-based, mobile-based technologies on the Microsoft platform right out of India for the world. And there was a very interesting report done by McKinsey about the impact of Digital India. And they are talking about some just mind-blowing numbers that I'm sure you've seen. From $500 billion to $1 trillion. Which is a lot of zeros, a lot of value, and that's the additional value we believe we can enable teaming up very tightly with that incredible, I would say, industry out of India. And that would be a very significant also a commitment of our company to enable them to strive in this mobile first, cloud first world in the planet and connect them with all the global economy.
Jean, let me ask you about Microsoft 2016. That ties into your mobile first, cloud first strategy. What is the plan for India?
Well, we just announced the new generation of Office 16, which is really about the future. And it's all about working better together and more seamlessly. It's all about co-authoring, creating work, innovative work actually across the world on any device. And in India, there's a lot we can do, again, not just in the enterprise world, but in particular to enable all those mobile apps and scenarios that people use on a phone. And the beauty of Office and Office 2016 is that you can do that on the cloud in a very safe way, in a very secure way, but you can do an exchange, create content, communicate using Skype as well, get a service provider using Skype for business as well in India, to have that great productivity being created on a phone, on a tablet, on a PC, and it can be run on any device as well, not just the Microsoft Windows devices. So that's a big value proposition we have.
Okay, and the India launch has already happened?
The India launch is happening as we talk, absolutely, and it's a phased launch, absolutely, which is growing, yes.
Okay, so how would that work out, if you could give me a roadmap to that?
Well, the service is being available as we talk now, globally and in India as well. And so we are definitely launching that both for consumers, enterprise, small businesses, and all the partners community.
All right, Jean, we'll take a short break. On that note, stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. We'll be back with a conversation with Jean-Philippe Courtois of Microsoft International. Stay tuned.